yearn to be a stay-at-home mom. I no longer want to take on all the responsibilities. I want to delegate it to a man.
Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to take a look at this woman's video. She is 32 years old. She no longer wants to be a strong and independent woman. She is giving up because she wants to be a stay-at-home mother. However, she is finding it very hard to get men to commit to her. Let's find out why.
So I recently made a video about the importance of having a roster.
Now we're getting somewhere. Well, I kind of see why she's getting a hard time getting men to commit to her. Let's keep going.
I love this comment here that says the problem with modern dating is having to have a roster in the first place. And that is the truth.
Well, if she agrees that having a roster is a problem, then why was she saying earlier that it is important to have a roster?
It just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Because when you really think about it, back in the day, the way our parents used to date or before that, men would see a woman and before really conversing with her, they would set their intentions. They would either go to their father, their mother, whomever, and they would make their intentions known off the rip. There was no confusion. There was no infusion that Billy liked Sally, Melissa, and Jackie. Because Peter was not going to all three of those women's homes and declaring and proclaiming his love to their family and asking for their family's permission to date them. That was how it was back in the day. Hence, there was no confusion. Billy came to my house. He talked to my dad. He told my dad he really likes me. He's asking my dad permission to date me.
But at the same time, Billy knew that you were not hoeing around.
Face blasted by multiple men.
He knew that there were not many men going to your house and ask your dad permission to date you. He knew that he was the only guy you were talking to, and that he knew that he was the only guy you were dating.
But we're in 2023, and now it's not like that.
No shit!
So, hence why things are a little bit different. I know some people are like, that's not the right way to date. Da, 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 da. It is not the right way to date. I agree, but it is the reality of dating nowadays.
And do you know who set the standards? You know who created this reality? You women, because you decided to give it away. You said it yourself that back in the day, a woman used to get the commitment and secure the commitment from the man, and then she will give it away. Now it's the other way around. They want to give it away and then bully the men into committing to them. You set the standards and you lower the bar. Men just adapted and are beating you at your own game.
So I have an interesting take and possibly a solution in regards to the ongoing debate on whether or not coffee dates are appropriate and if it's something that a woman should accept. Because the other day, this guy wanted me to go out on a coffee date. So I told him that when I'm in the mood for coffee, if he would like, he could meet me there. Because I agree with women, right?
And let me guess what it is. I'm going to take a wild guess that going out on a coffee date is too cheap, or going out for a walk is not good because you're not a dog to be walked. That you want to go on a nice fancy restaurant because you are a queen and you deserve to be wine and dine.
I'm not getting dressed, doing my makeup, taking time out of my day to meet a man up for coffee. Like, it's not my vibe. But if coffee is already on my way and you want to meet me and it's not inconveniencing me in any type of way, I'm open to it.
And you know what, guys? Back in my dating dates, late 90s, 1997, 98, 99, I had a rule for myself that I said that I will never break for any woman. And that is that I will only go on a coffee date or an ice cream date on the first, second, or third date, because the intention for me was get to know the woman that I'm gonna bring into my life. And that is exactly how I met my wife. 22 years later, we're still married. So the whole point of you going out on a date and getting to know someone is to get to know someone.
And it's going to be very brief. And I feel like it accomplishes the purpose of me meeting you. And then for men, this whole thing about, oh, you don't want to feel like you just invested $100, $200 on a woman when you don't even know her, because we've all been watching Oystergate. Then this kind of solves that problem as well. And it's a win-win. I don't feel like I did all this for a cup of coffee, and you don't feel like you spent all this money and then we don't even vibe. What do y'all think? Do we think that this could be a happy solution?
Yes, that is a happy solution because it shows how considerate you are with the guy's money. It is not the amount of money that he will spend that will determine the quality of the date or the place that you're going. What will determine is what you do with the time you have to spend together.
I feel like one of the biggest mistakes that women make when we're dating is not understanding the importance of having a roster. We don't understand what a roster is. We don't understand how to have an effective roster, and you're also not thinking like a man.
I thought this whole roster thing was already settled in her mind that it's not a good thing and that's not the way to go. Apparently, I guess she revisited her own thoughts and she changed her own mind. Now she's telling women that it is important to have a roster, and not just having a roster, but having an effective roster. And now she added that you have to think like men. In other words, you have to move the same way the men move. And I think she actually likes to have a roster. She enjoys having men in rotation.
And I'd like to strip you down and butter you like a slice of Wonder Bread.
I myself, I'm a very picky person. So it takes a lot for me to like somebody, to give them my time and energy. But you have to fight that, okay? Go out with other people, even if you're not enjoying yourself.
What do you mean by that?
Enjoying yourself.
Getting piped by at least 100 different people.
Or you're not having a good time and you're like waiting on Tyrone to text you back. At least your mind is somewhere else. You are exploring.
I was just right there like...
You're leaving yourself open to possibilities. So yes, build yourself an effective roster and it will save you so much pain and heartache. At what age did you wake up and realize that you no longer wanted to be a strong, Black, independent woman?
Usually at age 30, when you realize that no man wants you and that your fertility years are long gone.
And this can apply to white women and men as well, because I've definitely heard this term coined by a lot of people. But for me, it was about 6 months ago. I legit woke up, realized that I've slayed all of my goals. I have my career, I have my house, I have the car, I have everything else, and I don't want it anymore.
Well, gee, I wonder why. I also wonder how old you are.
If you can't relate to what I'm saying, then you can't relate to what I'm saying. But for me, at 32,
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
I realized that my priorities are changing. And now I want to be a housewife. I want to raise children. I don't want responsibilities. I don't want to have a mortgage. Actually, I do want a mortgage, but I don't want it to be in my name. I honestly want to relinquish responsibility to an able-bodied man. And it's crazy because I remember growing up, or in my 20s, I would hear of women who would go out, they would seek these fabulous careers, attorneys, doctors, lawyers, whatever it is, whatever they wanted. And then all of a sudden, they would get married and they would give it all up. And I used to think, what the actual... Who does all this to give it up to be a stay-at-home mother? And then I turned 32 and a half, and I realized it is I. I am that woman. I want to live a soft life. And a small part of me feels like I've worked for that. I've proven to myself, I feel like I've proven to my parents, I've proven to the world that I can do it. And now that that has been proven, I no longer want it.
And ladies, let me explain to you why. Those of you who are in your 20s who are wondering the same thing, why is it that all of these powerful women with these high-level positions leave all of that behind to become a wife? The reason is very simple.
How come? Tell me why! Say it! Say it!
Because that it's a male environment. Men thrive and succeed in this environment. Women can do these kind of jobs, but they do it for a short time. And then you see many videos out there of women saying, I'm done being the strong and independent woman. I'm tired. I need someone to help me. I need to be taken care of. This is too overwhelming. Men not only compete with themselves in the workplace, but they also compete with another man. They challenge each other. And men have no problem putting 40 hours, 50, 60 hours a week for 30, 40 years. Why? Because that is what brings men's purpose. Therefore, we find joy in being that provider. And we can break our backs for 40 years for our families. But just to be fair, there are some women that do that. But damn it, that is a very, very small percentage of women. That has to be a special kind of woman that can be able to do that, so rare.
And I think that I'm finally comfortable with letting them take the lead.
Whoever dates this woman, remember this. The only reason why you're going to lead is because she feels comfortable giving that to you.
I just need a applicant.
All right, boys, get those resumes ready. Go ahead and put them in a PDF file and start emailing it to her because she is taking applicants.
I did spend the last, 12 years of my life being an independent woman, and I have all this to show for it. And now I want a man to help me maintain it. And I also want a man to help me continue this lifestyle. And I don't want to do it myself anymore. What is wrong with that? Ladies, I have a question, and I want you to really think about this, and there is no judgment in your answer. At what age did it become abundantly clear to you the answer to this question? Should I marry for love or money? Because I feel like at some point in our lives, and this can go either way depending on your life circumstances, one or the other becomes more important to you. You realize that money is not that important, and you find that love is what drives you. Or you get to the point where you're just like, love is not it. I am going for security. I want a man to help me maintain it. And I also want a man to help me continue this lifestyle. I feel like we all just go through this, and I just want to know from y'all's perspective, did you go through this? Because I feel like I went through it. I've gone through it, and I'm there now. I'm not going to share my answer. I want a man to help me maintain it. And I also want a man to help me continue this lifestyle.
And you know what's funny? When she said that she's not going to reveal her answer, you know what I did? I went to look other videos that she has done, and she already told us her answer without even telling us.
Money, 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 money.
See, these women tell on themselves without even knowing that they're doing it. She wants someone to maintain the lifestyle that she has because she wants someone that is financially stable. So her love will depend on how financially successful the man is. Guys, you need to really pay attention to the things that they say and the things that they do. You have to take your time in vetting the woman. Eventually, the true colors will come out. And if you do not take your time in vetting and screening, you deserve whatever comes your way. Guys, do not do that. Do not be foolish. Take your time. Watch your six at all times. And I'll see you next time.